online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads from over 200 countries and your #1 source in after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Wanna be on top.
Hey guys, welcome back to another season of America's Next Top Model. Let the buzz begin. I'm your host, Emma Kay, and joining me is my wonderful panel.
Thaddeus Massey's in the house.
Hey everybody, I'm Francisco Thurston filling in this week.
And I'm Mike Scocozza, Cycle 20. Cycle 20 in the
Cycle
house.
20, yes.
So this is Cycle 21 episode, Cycle 21. Yes, it's so weird to say Cycle 21 now.
It is weird, it is weird.
It is.
Yeah.
Episode 1. We have an interesting contestants.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it's definitely a different twist than what we've seen in the prior cycle. So what were your takes on this season? Just with the opening with Tyra's dream, which was kind of weird. I'm sorry. I did not know where it was going. I was just like, okay, well, let's roll with this and see how it goes. And it was just
She's
so
got to intro it
strange.
some way. She's got to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah, she's got to do something.
Something different every year.
Yeah.
For me, I was happy to see Corey, like, you know, come back and make an appearance.
Yeah, no,
and do his
Corey-
thing. He looked great.
Corey
you
was
know?
great.
They had him all like, you know, he was looking fabulous.
I think he was
It was a great surprise.
It was my favorite moment when he walked out at Supper Club, which is very, for some of us that live in LA, very well-known place. And for the first challenge, it's an EDM theme that they have to do. Walk down the runway with Supper Cup filled, and they have to choose a hashtag that symbolizes them and their personality. So that was an interesting challenge. I didn't really see it coming. I thought it was going to be more, I just feel like every season it's drifting away from the whole model theme and real modeling and going into the show business, entertainment route, because you're just doing things to please the crowd. And some of the, like choosing a hashtag, what does that have to do with modeling?
Right.
And posing and taking a selfie.
Nothing. It's the answer. Nothing.
Nothing, but my answer to that would be, I just think that they're trying to get the audience, because it is television still, they have to get the audience familiar with who everybody is and how they, because everybody has to play a role, right? So how it's like,
course,
you know,
100%.
how do you define yourself? How are we going to know you? You know, everybody wants to, tag themselves as something. So that's how they want to be seen, but we're going to actually see how they will really be seen.
Yeah.
Of course.
As the season
of course.
goes
And I mean,
by.
like, let's face it, it's 2014. Social media is involved in everything. So they got to find a way to incorporate it.
Yeah.
I just thought, like, if the first picture you're taking is a selfie,
That's just,
I wanted a little more from that. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I mean, I think
I wanted a little more.
I'm there with you on that one, Mike.
The most interesting part about that was Tyra coming down from,
Being
the
dropped
roof,
down, like
from the
she
ceiling,
ascended
like,
from the heavens, like
yes.
she does. Yeah. Amazing.
And may I say that suit was quite amazing on her.
Yes, absolutely.
In many ways another. So, what were some of the people that stood out to you guys? Anyone when Corey was introducing the guys and the girls and they couldn't see one another?
I like the mirror thing. The mirror thing was kind of sweet.
Yes.
The double pane, the see-through mirror.
Yeah, that was cool.
Because we didn't have the ability to do that when we did it.
So how did you guys meet the girls?
We did the masquerade theme. So we were all lined up across from each other wearing
Okay.
masks. We had to, if you remember, pick a partner,
Yes.
walk down the aisle, remove our masks, and then we kissed each other.
Yeah.
Which, a little more epic than a selfie. Plus, we got to kiss a little bit. It was great. So it was complete surprise. This, you had a little bit of idea of what you're getting yourself into, but I don't know.
So you guys had more fun. That's what you're trying to say.
I mean, no, I would have loved to see the girls ahead of time. I mean, the more you can see them, the better, right? And
Right.
it's, yeah.
So Corey decides to come up with, ways to get the guys to start modeling their poses, and reveals this mirror, which is one-sided. The girls could see the guys, but the guys don't know that the girls are on the other side until, of course, the girls start making noise
cheering.
and screaming. Then they get the hint, like, oh, okay.
They're looking at us.
Yes. So and then it turns to the girls, and the girls are now the ones posing, and it seems like Kari was the one that caught the spotlight from everyone else.
I mean, Kari caught my spotlight. I love Kari. She was great. She was one of my favorites as the girls. Absolutely.
Did you guys sense any tension between the girls when they were posing in front of the mirror?
Not yet.
At first. No.
Yeah,
Really?
not yet.
Not Chantel
I'm sure it'll get there.
and Kari?
No.
Really? You guys didn't notice that? Yes. She pushed her out of the way. She's like, okay, my turn. Get out of the way.
I never noticed that stuff. Never.
Okay, well,
That's
that
a girl
would...
thing.
I just
That's
see
why she
girls
picks it
dancing
up.
in front of a
She's
mirror. I'm like, oh,
so
that's
she's
great.
a girl, so she's like, oh yeah, get her out of the way. She notices that stuff. We're like, we want to see them all.
Yeah, look, line it up. What's wrong with that?
All right.
I could tell the guys were happy, pleased with all the girls, so
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So let's get into some of the hashtags and the backgrounds of the models that we had for this season. So we have Miss J is
Oh my
back.
God,
Oh my God,
yes.
the big
Amazing.
surprise.
Yes. The show has been so empty without Miss J. It's always needed Miss J.
Shout outs to Miss J.
Miss J, amazing. She's looking better than ever. So
I just loved it. It was subtle. You know, she was just like the face, the reactions to things was
Right.
priceless.
Right.
I love
So
that.
good.
I loved
So good.
her entrance. It
Oh.
was just I honestly forgot about it. Having seen the kind of like the premiere and knowing she was going to be
Right,
back,
right.
I completely forgot about it until she walked down the runway.
walked
I was
out.
like, "Oh, Miss J's back."
I feel like. Go ahead, Francisco.
No, what I love about Miss J is that while Tyra can be sometimes funny, Miss J has always just been the kind of the comedic relief of the show. Like
Yeah.
the models are funny, but Miss J, like you said, her reactions and everything,
Oh,
awesome. Like Miss
she
J's
says what
always-
you're thinking.
Yeah.
But
or
she's
vice versa.
right on point.
Oh,
with it.
100%.
And
100%.
how she like imitates people and stuff. It's like she's like on point with how she imitates people. I'm like, wow, she's really clowning. I really feel like when Tyra was sitting up there, it's like she has the devil and the angel on both sides of
Kelly
her with
Miss
Kelly
J.
and the Miss J. It's like, oh wow, just like apples and oranges, but they like all get along. They're like all on the same page at the same time. It's like weird.
Yeah, we have the judges are back this season. It's Miss J, Tyra, and Kelly, of course.
Yeah.
It kind of felt weird not to have that fourth judge up there, but you
So
know,
we're outdoing the whole social media vote. Is that what happened?
I'm
We don't
not
know
sure.
yet.
I'm
I
not
don't
sure
know.
if I haven't really heard anything, but I'm not sure if Brian Boy may be doing it like behind the scenes,
I'm
or
not sure.
maybe they're not doing the social media. I don't know how it worked for you guys because
Well,
some of the people that were brought back on social media didn't end up staying. So, and
True.
from what I hear, some of the people that had higher social media scores ended up leaving and getting
Well, we
kicked
didn't get
off.
to look at any of that. Brian Boy just was there to deliver the news of
Yes.
what social media was saying. He was like a commentator.
And do you
So.
think it had anything to do with that one challenge you guys had to do on Hollywood Boulevard and how uncomfortable it was with people?
We had to go up to people and tell them to text to vote for us. Oh, that wasn't awkward at all. Yeah. No, I don't know. You know, you gotta. It's like you said. The show's been around. This is a 21st cycle. They gotta constantly find ways to evolve it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I think the panel, the way it's set up, I'm really looking forward to the interaction between the judges. Like you said, I think it's a great balance on each side of Tyra with Kelly and then Miss
Definitely.
J. And then Tyra's just her wacky, wonderful self.
Love her.
So.
Well, someone that really stood out to me was a 6'6" Catholic gay boy from Texas.
Yes, Will.
And then he's already 6'6", and then he comes out with high-heeled stiletto boots or whatever he had on, and I'm like, OMG. But there's something about this guy that he's bringing to the table that is kind of an intangible, and I'm really curious to see how he develops because he has a it factor about him.
He has a great look, and
Yeah.
I mean, I've met him in person, and he makes me feel small, and I'm a pretty big guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's a big guy, but he has a presence about him, and he has a look, and he has a vibe, and I loved it. I thought he was great. I think he's gonna be great on the show.
Yeah, he's really comfortable in his skin, and that's really important. I kind of feel like, you know, there's actually way more testosterone than last season.
A lot more.
It's like
lot
really
more.
ridiculous. I feel like, okay, you guys want to go to the gym and like pump some weights or something, like what's going on? But I feel like sometimes guys can overcompensate and it turns into like, it translates into insecurity when it's like too
can
much.
tell.
When it's like too much. It's like you can be comfortable and confident in yourself without like, the ladies love me, look at me, check me out, blah, 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 blah. So, you know, let's just like chill out, guys. Just like relax.
My-
that's what Will Will doesn't do, and Will has
Yeah.
like a comfort. He's comfortable in his own skin where he doesn't have to do that, and that's what I like about him.
But it also has to do with his background and what he does. You know, dancing and teaching kids. You know, and follow their passion is not an easy job to do. So you have to have all that passion within you to be able to do that. So it comes naturally to him being on stage or performing or, you know, wearing those heels.
Ain't that true? I feel like those guys came into that beginning scene like they were about to be on an episode of Blind Date. They were like, they were
They were just waiting for the little bubbles to pop up. Remember?
I was like, where are we right now? Is this America's Next Top Model or is this MTV Blind
I will
Date?
say, off first bat, everyone looks a lot older. Not in a bad way, but I feel like they maybe kind of planned that just to get a little more, get them a little more liquored up and a little more fun. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's
Mike,
maybe it's thought in the back of the mind.
you were the only one all by yourself
Listen,
last
I'm the
season.
OG.
So.
I'm the OG. I'm the oldest to ever be on the show, so it's nice to see that there's some older people.
But you know, it's an interesting point you bring up because we're used to America's Next Top Model being 18,
Well, with the
19,
girls,
like
yeah.
right at the, you know, the cutting edge of it. And then now we're seeing, you know, girls older, 24, 25, even
Yeah.
guys are, you know, getting in their 26, 27. So it's interesting. And what I really like about it is that you give ordinary people the chance to really make something of themselves. So I like that people have different backgrounds and where they're coming from. They're not your typical models, but when you put them in front of a camera, everyone could be a model. Just having the right hair, makeup, and the attitude and being coachable, anyone could do it.
Besides that selfie.
Yeah.
Besides the selfie.
Well, with the selfie, let's talk about the selfie. They had to put pictures and decorate their photos themselves.
With a new app called Line
do we
App.
plug Line App? Is that what we do here?
Yeah, that's what I
don't know.
think. Well, we don't plug Line App. They plugged Line App. And now
Line
Line App
App
has
should,
like
you know.
100 million downloads. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
from the show. I'm sure maybe it was before that. I'm not sure, but
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
What do you think of Line App?
I've never
everybody?
used
not sure.
it,
Me
neither.
but if you guys have, let us know on Twitter, iTunes, YouTube. Let us know what you think about it. I've never used it, but apparently it has to be popular that America's Next Top Model is using it. And while you're on iTunes, don't forget to rate, comment, give us 5 stars. And we want to know your predictions, who you think is going to go home, any comments that you might have, or questions for us. So don't forget to tweet us.
All of it.
Yes.
All of it.
And you guys, if you guys want to call in and ask us any questions or, you know, give us your 2 cents about what you guys think is going on, who your favorites are, some things that you guys noticed that we might not have picked up, you guys can give us a call, 424-256-1729, 424-256-1729.
Boom.
That's good. You got that number down.
Down pat.
Practice.
The pro over here.
Did the contestants kind of, I feel like they kind of had their like picture in their hands. Like they decided what the judges wanted to see.
Yeah, but also, did you see when they put the selfies up? Some of them didn't have like markings and editings on them.
Yes.
true.
So I feel.
Yes,
I've
I
been
know
on
where
the
you're
show,
going.
so I kind of get it a little bit more.
Tell us.
But you know, we never see a single photo that they pick. They always say,
Exactly.
"Hey, this is your best photo," but we never actually see it. And you know, as a contestant, when you're standing up there and you see a photo, you're like, "That wasn't my best photo."
Right.
Like I'm just being honest. That's the way it is, and
Right.
it's a general consensus there when it gets. I mean, you know, regardless that they say this is the best one, you kind of in your head know, I don't know about that one. So with the selfie thing, I thought it was very interesting that they got to actually see the photo first. They got to play with it,
Right, they got to see the
mess around
phone.
with it, and then I did find it interesting that some of them were edited and some weren't. So I'm curious if the one that who got to choose it. You know what I mean?
Do you think the contestants were savvy enough to edit it themselves with Photoshop
they
or something?
showed them
They were
editing it
supposed
with
to,
the Line
yeah.
App because apparently that's what you do.
Okay, I thought you
we
were
don't-
going, you know, down the route like the producers or someone edit the photos for them.
No,
No,
they
I mean,
actually
Okay.
mentioned how Keith had probably the best edited photo
Right,
because
right.
he was very creative in how he edited his
Mm-hmm.
own picture, and everybody else wasn't as creative with editing their own picture as he was.
For last cycle, I think I touched on that quite a lot with the interviews that I did, you know, with people and telling them that some of the photos that I thought were not the best ones, and we did see a better photo selection when we were watching behind the scenes, and
Right.
a lot of people agreed with us. So I'm not sure if maybe this season they're doing things a little bit differently, because
I don't know.
I'm sure they would have, you know, dropped viewership if people thought that it was a little bit forged. I'm not sure.
Well, the thing that's cool about it is that, I mean, you can't complain about your selfie. You took the picture.
Exactly.
That is true. You actually took it. Yeah.
Right. So it's like, well, this is the day and age that we live in. People take selfies all the time. And I think Keith even made a comment about, well, I take selfies all the time.
But how many selfies do you take before you get a good one?
But then you have the power to delete the ones you don't like.
Depending on what kind of phone you have.
Them? You think they went through and looked at them?
Wouldn't you?
I think so. There was like a photo roll that they
I don't know. I'm curious, like how quickly they handed them the phone. Like you're going on. Here's the phone. As soon as you get off, give me the phone.
I mean, 2 seconds. You can look at your pictures in like 2 seconds and delete whatever picture you don't like.
I'm just saying, when you're up there in like the heart of it and it's happening, you probably don't have the wherewithal to do that.
And knowing how controlled it is, you know, backstage, just having that control over it, I don't think they would have had the chance to delete it.
I don't think so either.
I have a feeling the photos were chosen for them because of the personalities. You know, let's take, for example, Adam. Adam had that one look, you know, his hashtag is Tarzan. So Miss J was mimicking him because of his face expression and how he came out in the photo. So I'm sure, you know, they would have chosen a photo that resembled what they were talking about on the runway versus something else.
Miss J was feeling Adam.
Yes.
Adam was great. I can't wait to watch Adam more. Shout out to Adam Smith. I'm sure I hope he's watching. We're all friends with Adam, so party on, brother.
Well, we some of us are going to be a little biased over here, so don't mind us in our commenting.
But to keep it real, though, I like, as far as Adam is concerned, you gotta like give him props on him keeping it real. He's obviously 100%. Not in his element, and he's like he's just going for it and just showing like, okay, well, I'm here and I just gotta go for what I know.
Right,
I mean, this guy you said is like, what did he say? He was
he's a professional partier.
He was, but I'm talking about.
He's
like,
a smart dude.
He's very intelligent. Yeah. He was like a mathematical and somting.
Yeah,
engineering major, something like really technical, and you probably have to be really intelligent.
He told us once, and I was like, huh? What does that do? Analyze numbers.
Right.
Yeah.
So not only is he smart, he's also fun.
So he can be a sponge though. So I feel like he can do well in the competition if he listens.
Yeah, I think people are gonna probably underestimate him and his capabilities just because he comes off like he's just wanting to have fun. And honestly, if I didn't know that he was that smart, I wouldn't have guessed. Right. Just because of his personality and how he comes off. So he's definitely one of my favorites. And then we have Chantel.
Love her.
Chantel, her hashtag was one in a million. What did you guys think about that hashtag?
I didn't even catch that hashtag. Thank you.
Yeah,
it was hard to see some of theirs.
Yeah. I thought it was very interesting, and it's obvious. You know, I mean, she has built, and she's built a wall around herself and a wall of confidence and assurity based on her background and the things she's gone through. She's gone through some obvious serious bullying growing up, and going through those like coming of age years. Kids are like very, very, very harsh.
I can't even imagine
very mean. And she was saying they called her certain like really messed up names or whatever. And the fact that she is where she is a testament to her spirit and a testament to how strong she is. You know, you can be weathered by certain things and events in your life that just season you and get you ready to kick everybody's ass.
Oh yeah.
And I think she might be kind of in that space where she's like been seasoned, like going through middle school and high school, and now she's like, look at me now, bitches. You know.
I love that Tyra though was like, I'm not gonna be easy on you though. You know, she's like, I'm gonna treat you the same as everyone else, which I think you have to do.
It's fair. It's only fair. But at the same time, Tyra's the one that found her on social media because of her presence on social media. But I also like that the way she carries herself, having... It's not a challenge, obviously what she has, but some people may look at it that way. She's actually a threat to the girls. That's what I found interesting.
She's unique.
She stands out. I mean, in general, you have to notice her.
Definitely. So I know some people are very intimidated by her. One being Mariana. So
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
We'll see how that plays out. Another contestant we have is Ben.
Oh,
He's
Ben.
a model,
Ben.
actor, singer, and dancer.
Okay, I'm sorry. Before we jump
Thaddeus,
into
aren't
Ben,
you all those things?
Huh?
You're the triple threat right here.
I'm a quadruple.
Well, we're gonna send him on the next cycle.
Before you jump to Ben real quick, and we're gonna talk about you, Ben, in 10 seconds.
Uh-oh.
But going back to Chantel and Marijuana.
Mariana. We're just gonna call her Mariana.
Okay, it's interesting.
We call her MJ?
It's interesting, MJ. That's a good
right.
one. Yeah, I was gonna call it MJ.
Yeah.
I think
Mariana,
it's
if you're
very
listening to
interesting-
us, your new nickname is MJ. Okay.
She's probably not going to approve of that, but
What's happening?
I think it's very interesting how people pick out a person in the competition that they say, I feel like that person is my competition.
Yeah.
And they like rule out everybody else. It's like you're in a room with like 30 other people or 29 other people. How do you pick one person and say, I think this person is my competition? You know, only one person is going to win this
People
competition.
do that,
right?
like, because
It's weird.
Okay,
It
who
brought-
is your competition? Who did you say that's my competition?
Like, I don't understand that mentality when you have all these other people.
everybody was my competition. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't look at one person because everybody is so different too. It's not like you have two like the same people. It's
Yeah.
like everyone's different. You don't know what they're looking for. You don't know what each week is going to present. It's a different challenge all the time. So sometimes it'll benefit you. Sometimes it'll benefit somebody else, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to be smart about it and do the best you can.
Yeah.
Do you think the guys look at the whole challenge as they're kind of like competing amongst one another, or is it they're competing with the girls? Like, how did you guys feel with the competition? Because I feel like the girls are
I
only
feel like-
targeting the girls, and it's like, no, it's a competition with everyone, not just guys and then girls separate.
I don't know because I haven't been on other seasons, obviously, and what the dynamic is. But I can say, for the most part, the people in our season, Cycle 20, there was this sense of camaraderie where even after we fought, we still felt like a big family. And at the end of the day, we all kind of went through something together. And I feel, for the most part, we all kind of understood that. And I don't know if, I don't really get that with this. Like this, I see the guys competing against each other. I don't see the guys looking at the girls being like, they're the competition. I just see the guys fighting against each other. I see the girls fighting against each other, at least right now. That's how I view it.
That's the feeling I got as well, and I'm just like thinking, okay, you guys are competing against everyone,
Right.
so keep your friends close, but your enemies closer. So it seems like Mariana somewhat is the only one kind of taking that first step into competing. Everyone else is just having
I feel
fun.
like the girls just think they're going to walk over the guys, so they just got to deal with the girls, and the guys, vice versa, just think that they're going to walk over the girls, so they
Right.
have to only compete with the guys. That's how I saw it.
Well, here's how I feel about it. After last season, after the final was Marvin and Jordan, right? I felt like there should have been a guy winner and there should have been a female winner, and then have an overall winner. Still simply because guys and girls are not going to go on the same castings.
Well,
So
it's
why
100% accurate.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so to me, it wasn't logical to have one overall winner. Simply because you're competing against the guys are competing against the guys, and the girls are competing against the girls.
They also
in a
haven't
sense.
said anything about the winners, the prize. They haven't mentioned any of that
Yeah,
yet. So
they
for
haven't
all
said
we
anything.
know, there could be a guy and a girl. We don't know.
Changed it up.
They could have
Who
mixed it
knows?
up this year.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I really don't know.
I hope they did.
I have a feeling that just because it's so new, guys and girls, that they need a couple of cycles, seasons to really get everything in place before they could do that. And, I talked about it last season. I said, when, you're choosing a finalist or a winner, the person like Nylon was, Next was the...
And guess.
And guess. They really have to like the model to be the winner. So how do you give someone, your client, a model that they don't want to work with?
I mean, honestly,
So is it predetermined? Like, is it ahead of time? Because we knew last season what the prize was, but this season we don't know.
Dude, it's very true. I'm just saying, as a viewer watching, you have to pay attention to things, and it's same thing with any other, like The Voice or American Idol. Listen, a record label is not going to throw millions of dollars at somebody that they don't like and they don't know. So there's obviously going to be some input. I mean, that's just common sense to me.
Yeah.
There's going to be some input from the greater powers that be. But that said, you still have to come each week because you don't know what's ahead and you don't know what's coming. So you just have to go at it, tackle it.
Yeah, you do, because you don't know. So you got to give it your all every week, and every challenge.
So let's go through some of the other contestants we had. We have 33 models.
31.
31.
31.
Yeah.
And then we needed to cut down to 20.
22 and then 14. They
14.
said. Yeah.
Wow, that's a big
lot.
That's a
cut,
third of
all
them.
in 1 week.
Yeah.
We had more than that though.
Really?
We had 36 originally.
Wow.
Nobody knew about the last one. It started with they cut him out before they even aired anything. So it was 35. Then we went down to 23, and then 14, and then 12.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a big chunk. You're
In like
looking,
1 week?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So you're looking around, and all of a sudden, half the people are gone.
It's crazy.
You think you're there, and you think you're all right. I'm in this thing. I'm doing it. No, they
So-
just mess with your head some more.
Yeah, I was
They
about to
just
say,
mess
this
with your
is
head
the
some
total
more.
At this point, since the contestants are not in the house, where are they staying? Where can you give us any insight on that?
Hotel, right?
Yeah, I was trying to think back to the timeline of things and how it broke down. And so our first challenge was, yes, it was that masquerade ball, and we were all in a hotel. So we were all separate. We didn't get to talk to any of the guys we didn't talk to anybody. We were just segregated. It was miserable. The first week, trust me, everybody that goes through it knows it's like, it's miserable. So yeah, we're in a hotel, and then probably at this point, after they did that elimination, they most likely went to the house. So I guarantee you the next episode will be opening up with them probably going to the house.
Got it.
That's
of
my
people.
prediction.
Well, now that
'cause, yeah,
they're
'cause
down
we-
to 14
Because
people, of course.
you get to the house and you start counting, and they're like, "There's not enough beds for everyone here." So that first night or two, people are sleeping on the couch. Yeah, Phil slept on the runway. I slept on the floor. Like
my
people are just sleeping
gosh.
everywhere. It's a big slumber party.
That is so funny.
It's like Vegas.
Yeah, it's exactly like
Exactly
Vegas.
Vegas.
Okay, so can we go back to Ben now? Our
Back to Ben.
model,
That was a tangent.
actor, singer,
My
and
bad.
dancer.
And now you're gonna talk about Ben.
Right.
Go for it.
He had 2 of the categories down.
I liked how we were watching
The other
it.
2, no.
I liked how we were watching it, and he was like, what does he say? He acts, dances, sings, and models.
Yes.
And then he starts, and then Tyra's like, give me your acting, give me your modeling. And then Francisco's watching, and he's like, okay, he's got 3.
Okay, down to 2.
Okay, he's down to 2. So that was classic. And we're like, dude,
I love this. I love the acting monologue that they showed for him. I don't remember what he said, but it was just such
dog.
a brief clip.
Right.
Yes.
The dog.
It actually wasn't that bad. It wasn't the bad. The acting wasn't that bad. It was better than the dancing.
I don't
I can
remember
say
his hashtag, so if anyone remembers it, please make sure to tweet us or call in and let us know what
Sorry,
it
Ben, we
is.
forgot your hashtag.
It was just like way too fast with the
happened really
runway.
quickly.
Yes.
I thought Kelly was a little overly offended about him hitting on
Yeah,
Tyra.
Yeah,
that was a
that
little
was-
much. Come on, Kelly.
Don't lay it on so thick. Tyra's still hot, isn't she? Why
She's-
can't he be in
she-
awe of her
she
stardom,
definitely
her
is.
celebrity, and her beauty? Like,
Yeah,
why
what's,
not?
What's wrong with admitting that?
At an
Well-
Oscar party on top of that? Like, come on.
Kelly looked a lot better herself, so I don't know if she's maybe trying to steal the spotlight away from
Steal some of
Tyra
that
a little
thunder.
bit. You know.
She was like, I would not want my teenage daughter bringing you home.
That was Adam.
that was
Adam.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that was
That
hilarious. That was hilarious.
That was funny.
Good job, Ben, for getting your eyebrows done before going on to the competition.
And that does hurt. Threading hurts. Oh my gosh.
I know
can't
they
believe-
want you to share things on the show, but there's some things just don't bring it up. Just don't go
No,
there.
it's overly done. So, do they ask you questions before? Because we just see answers being thrown out, but are questions being asked?
Right. Well, so like any other show where you have reality contestants, there is always an interview process throughout. So you're constantly sitting down and interviewing, and you basically recap. So when you see somebody talking at the camera, like on any show, they're basically sitting in a room with a camera guy and a producer, and you're having a conversation with a producer. So it looks like you're just talking at a camera, but there's actually a producer there asking you questions. So it feels very natural.
Right.
Got it.
And the producers, they're good at what they do. They get you comfortable. And,
Did they ever give you something to drink?
No, they wouldn't pull it out that way. But they were good at they're good at they're good at their jobs. That's why
Yeah.
they're there. So they know how to pull certain things out of you. And,
Got it.
Make you feel comfortable.
Yeah, and
get
honestly,
you
when you're
start
there,
talking.
like I said, you wanna, you don't know what to expect, so you're kind of like you're just a floodgates open up. You know what I mean? Like you're
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I'll just talk about anything.
Right.
I was just a little bit uncomfortable with some of the personal stories they got into, judging, and I'm just thinking like, why would you bring that up? Like, if they shared that in confessional, I would be okay with it. But why would you put someone on the spot like that?
Because it's a TV show.
Because it's
Producers talk to them
television.
about that.
It's television.
So-
you have to get the audience attached and relating to. They have to pick somebody that they're going to relate to for that show in order to be engaged to watch the show every week.
100%. And you have to get that engagement immediately.
Right.
I mean, it's the day of age we live in.
I'm going to make an early prediction going into our next contestant and say that Lennox is going to be Tyra's favorite since they have that whole big forehead sharing.
Oh, you know.
Five head.
Going on. You know, and they really characterize Lennox as kind of like Jordan. Not really, but kind of like Jordan. Jordan had the whole issues, you know, with the abusive relationship with her ex-husband, and then Lennox is going through grieving, you know, with her father's death, who, you know, she feels like didn't really know that she cared for him when he passed away, and Tyra just brought that all out on
Those moments are seriously so unpredictable. Like, that happened to me at So You Think You Can Dance. Like, you don't expect to get on stage and talk about, like, your past, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, I'm crying on national TV. Like, what's happening? Just bombarded with those random
again,
questions.
when you go through the whole interview process to be on a show, they will really get to know you. It's a very deep level for such a short amount of time. And the same thing, you're trying everything in your power to get on the show because you want to be on the show.
Right.
You want to do it. So you do open up, you know, and they want that. I was actually surprised. I felt there were less sob stories, if we can say that, less sad stories this season than our last season. I felt like everyone last season had a sob story. Marvin, sorry Marvin, my dad's a janitor.
Starving Marvin.
Right.
Come on, it's like everybody had a sad story. I'm walking around like, oh, look at an ice
I know,
cream
you were the
truck.
only one that didn't have anything. He's like, I sell ice cream.
Yeah, what are we gonna be sad about? You know,
He doesn't need to win. He'll be all right.
just brighten the day.
Right. Exactly. Mike will be happy right now.
I thought it was. I thought there were less sad stories, which I felt was good. Too much of it brings you down.
Yeah.
Like I agree, you want to connect to people and you want to relate and you need that, but at the end of the day, you want people to still feel good.
Yeah.
Happy.
Do you think maybe people feeling sympathetic or having empathy for some of the contestants in their background has anything to do with their
strategy?
No, because not strategy. I was going to say with voting, but voting is already done, so that's not even part of the reason. I just felt like, you know, for instance, like Josh. Josh was, he milks cows, and he has a very rare liver disease.
Oh yeah.
Which is like, wow, like, I'm shocked, you know, but also happy that he's able to be on the show and compete with everyone else.
At the end of the day, every single show needs real people connecting with real people, and I think that's why we get the sob stories and we get their side, you know, their sad stories, and we need to feel like we're real people connecting with real people.
Well, it's the same thing with like American Idol. People love those first couple episodes because it's the real people that just come in. That, you know, obviously they're not good singers. Let's face it, they're not gonna win, but they're going and they're sharing their stories and they're putting themselves out there, and that's what people feel like they can relate to that.
Yeah. What was his name again?
That's where they get
Josh.
The thing I liked about Josh was that it wasn't really a sad story.
No,
how he handled it and how he told it was really like, this was, you know, I got handed some lemons and I made lemonade out of it. And he's just, look, I decided to go ahead and pursue modeling, and this is what I'm doing now. And it wasn't like really sad. It was more like uplifting, actually.
100%.
And how they pictured that. And it might be because of what you said, Mike, like how they had too many sad stories last season.
I feel like
maybe,
they did.
Maybe they felt like, we won't go, maybe we'll have like, show like one person crying, like breaking it, and then everybody else will have a situation, but it won't be like really dark.
And it's not coincidental, you know, them bringing Corey back on the show. Corey was a very significant, you know, model and also a character on the last season. You know, he was the motherly, nurturing person, but he also has a very hard, tough background, and he's done very well for himself. He's, you know, an idol, and, you know, to many people around the world, and having him back was truly amazing to have him give his personal feedback to people, but people also felt like, okay, this is real.
Right.
Because if he's back, then I have a chance of, you know, one day after this is done, being up on stage doing what he does.
I mean, I'm a little bummed I didn't get the call to come back. But, you know, Corey,
we needed you here, Mike.
Corey, you did a great job. I love seeing you on there.
Yeah, Corey, you did. Shout outs to Corey. He did a really great job, actually.
And
I think he pops up later on too. I think, right?
Yes,
we
he
saw
does.
the photos.
Okay.
Yeah, can't wait to see that.
Corey-bot.
Okay.
Corey-bot, yeah.
a little bit of a sneak peek for you guys. We also have one other person who's back, Danny.
Danny.
Okay, can I quote him for 1 second, please?
Okay.
He said, how was trying, oh, I'm sorry. He said something and I put down and I said, how is trying out for the second time making it? When he was having that argument with, what was his name?
Romeo.
Yeah. And he's like, well, I made it. I was like, you're back for the second time. You need to be quiet and sit down.
Have a seat.
I will say this. I feel for Danny. He's a really good dude. He's a genuinely good dude. Danny.
That hair needs to go.
He's a New York guy. Not everybody understands that, but like he is who he is, and he's got a great heart. He's a genuinely good dude. He's a great model. It was kind of heartbreaking to see him go our season. Like I was like, Danny's.
Did he make it to? He didn't make it to the house, right?
He made it top
20 something.
Yeah, he made the first cut. Yeah, he made the first cut.
He was pretty popular on social media
he was great.
when the second time for Cycle 21. His girlfriend, you know, made this whole Instagram page for him, and he was like really popular. And I was like, I don't remember this guy being back, you know, from Cycle 20, and now he's back, and I'm not impressed.
I want to say. Sorry,
No.
I
was just laughing at her.
I just watching it brings back so many memories, good and bad. But I remember being, you know,
what's the good one?
Well, they're all good. It's all
okay.
good.
What's the bad one?
No, it's just that anxiety you have in your stomach every single time you go to panel, you can't control. It doesn't go away.
I just didn't like his energy that he brought to the competition.
He was kind of quiet on our cycle. And I think he realized that he played it down a little bit too much, you know?
You have to be a character.
You have to be a character because he went to bed early all the time. Like he was just kind of in his own. He was friendly. He's a super friendly, nice guy, but he didn't get involved as much with people. And I think that was part of his downfall. So I don't know if it's a conscious thing that he's doing now to be more assertive and trying to put himself out there more. I think it probably is.
Now, do you feel like he's playing himself up too much now because he's already getting on Romeo's nerves?
I mean, yeah,
Romeo's
but that could also be the way they're trying to portray him. I don't know, because like I said,
that's right.
He's a good dude.
You don't know how it's being cut, obviously.
Exactly.
But Romeo has obviously had 3 lifetimes worth of enough of him already on the first episode. Like, I feel like he's going in on him too much, but then again, there's cuts and we don't see everything. We can't obviously see everything because they got to get footage of everybody else. So we don't know what's going on or why Danny is getting on Romeo's nerves the way he is or irking him. It just seemed like, it seemed like almost like he was picking him out just to be like, I just don't like him. Just to be like,
I kind of feel it was a bit of that too. Yeah,
it felt like that. But then at the same time, it's like, well, we're not seeing everything, so who knows what's going on for him to say that also. I feel like I'm on both sides of the fence with it. I'm sure it's going to develop and we're going to see like what's going on or why he's getting like Danny's.
I was annoyed that he was giving advice to people about making it when it's like, well, you failed once and now you're back on probably like pity.
Maybe we didn't see why. Maybe we didn't see the whole conversation between Romeo and Danny when Romeo was bringing out his cards and that whole situation.
That was how it started because Danny was kind of like making fun of Romeo when he brought out the cards.
Well, I mean, he brought out tarot cards. I mean.
Yeah, maybe that's why Romeo was offended, you know, and that's probably why he went in on him so
But that
hard.
has a lot to do with his actual faith. Like,
it does.
He explained,
religion.
Yeah, he explained his religious beliefs and how he came from a very strong Mexican Catholic background, and then he switched his faith, and that's actually probably why maybe there was something there that was said.
Could be. They could develop that.
Yeah. I mean, just as a model, I think Romeo has a very strong look.
Yeah,
I think he's going to do very well, and I think he is very confident and comfortable in his own skin as well. Obviously, and you have.
He definitely has that. Yeah,
especially he has a.
I see him and Chantel being very close because they both have that strong "I don't care" personalities, and I am who I am. So, it's definitely different to see that. I'm sorry to say, but I didn't really see that last season. It seemed like everyone was crying too much.
Crying too much, yes. They were crying too much. I will agree. Thank you. Thank you.
So it's definitely refreshing to see people who are
comfortable in their skin. Yeah, 100%.
And then we have Kari. We talked about Kari a little bit. I really don't remember her hashtag, but I sense a little bit of romance going on between her and Keith.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they play into that a little bit more in the future. But I definitely see a couple pairing up there. And we have Keith, who's also, well, he's like Josh, he's an ex-NFL player. He got injured, and now he's taken the acting and modeling route to see where his career is going to pursue.
He's like the next Tyson Beckford. They say they're doing some comparisons.
I see some similarities.
I do too.
Yes.
I see
Tyson
some
Beckford is one above everybody else.
Of course. I mean, he's like...
Shout out Tyson. That's my boy.
But he said they also have the same birthday. Kind of weird, isn't it?
That is weird. Yeah.
I know, right? I have the same birthday as Madonna, but that doesn't mean anything.
My second prediction...
You sure?
Well, we'll talk about that off camera. My second prediction is that he's going to be Tyra's second favorite person. But we'll see.
Who, Keith?
Yeah.
We do
or Denzel. Or...
Will we do predictions at the end?
Rob isn't here anymore.
Okay.
We do, but I have so many that
I know.
I need to get out.
Just want to let it out.
And then we have Shy Fan, who's also my favorite. I'm going to be biased throughout the whole show, guys. So don't mind me. My girl Shy is she's great.
But let me mention something about Shy really quickly. Shy mentioned that she's going to have a leg up, and I think she's going to be a sleeper simply because dealing with the guy, she knows how to deal with the guy. She has 4 older brothers, and growing up as a little sister with 4 older brothers is no joke.
No.
It's like, if I was to have a daughter myself, I would hope that I had like 2 or 3 sons before that, and I'm like, oh, I'm good. They got this.
Take care of her.
They take care of it. She's a tough cookie, so I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of...
she's like, just knowing her, she's like so ready to get down into the dirt and start fighting these guys, coming in with her snapback and her, just casual look. I'm like, oh boy, here goes Shy.
Yeah.
And her hashtag is, oh my God, I'm sorry, Shy. It's all day dancing. So if you know anything about Shy, she loves twerking.
Does she dance all day? Is that how it works?
And she thinks she could sing, but we won't get into that.
That whole twerk sequence thing that they were doing, the cut-ups of the twerking, was like really awkward, weird. Like, except for when Tyra got up and started shaking it.
Oh my God.
Good job, Tyra.
And just a little bit of a plug-in. Shy's actually wearing some of Emma K's Closet clothing on the show, so thought I'd just throw that out there. Okay, the person we need to talk about, Jamie Ray.
Jamie Ray.
What the hell was that? You know, when I was watching on social media and they put her photo a little bit after, like a day or 2 after everyone else's, the selfie, and I'm like, why does this girl not look like everyone else?
You really think she missed her flight?
I don't know.
They planned that.
I'm sorry, but you would be really stupid if you missed your one opportunity to be on America's Next Top Model.
No offense, Jamie Ray, but I mean,
she was putting on her makeup.
I think she actually missed her flight. I genuinely think she missed it.
Probably. So Adam had another recommendation for her.
Yeah.
We won't mention on camera, but if you want to go back and look at the epised, you'll know what we're talking about.
I said it too. I said it.
He did.
I said it, and that just goes to show you, Adam on the same page. Vivid, give this girl a call. Vivid Entertainment, she has a feature.
Even though she still kind of looked like, a porn star when she took off her makeup, it's kind of crazy how heavy makeup can
be. Yes.
It's like how, and once you take it off, they're like, whoa, where was that at?
Yeah. Coming from a guy perspective, honestly, we don't care about the makeup. Like, we want a girl that just looks so pretty with nothing.
Right.
True. Right?
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
most definitely.
I feel like fill me in here. Girls do it is it for guys or is it for other girls? Because I feel like sometimes it's like, I want to look better than this girl.
Other girls.
Yeah. 'Cause listen,
a
if you're trying to-
combination of both, but sometimes they do go overboard with the makeup,
do.
and it just looks like it's stage makeup, and girls need to
Yeah,
stop
yes.
using MAC and start using more natural products.
Bare minerals.
Yes.
Women, please.
So a lot of them, I'm sorry, are models that they're so used to the makeup that's applied on them that they think it's normal to walk out into everyday society wearing that. It's not.
No. We can tell when you look like a clown.
Photoshop
Right,
makes your
yeah.
makeup look smooth. It's not normal to walk out
Right.
like
And
that.
she had the nerves to cry when they asked her to take off her makeup. Really? You're
She looked good
You're
without
late.
it. She looked great.
I think she
she
looked.
did
She
look
had
good.
a really model-esque look
Yes.
without the makeup, which was like, wow, that's the same girl to me.
It was bizarre. Yeah,
There was one other
Yeah.
girl too that we were talking about.
I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm gonna
for the girl from Philly.
I'm gonna like trash her name real badly, but Rylea,
Something like that.
Rylea.
It started with an R.
I'm sorry. I will remember it next
We'll get it
time.
right before the season's over.
We have Denzel. He's a real estate man. He owns a real estate management company. He opened up at 20. He's definitely, I think, one of the top contestants on the. Will be on the show, and then we have Will, and we talked about Jamie Ray, and then the rest of them. Brandon, hashtag sarcastic. He
I
likes
miss Jay.
light-skinned girls.
Imitating him was great.
Was funny. The way he came down those stairs. And then we have Matthew. Matthew is smiles all day, even though I haven't seen him smiling. Don't you think it's funny? Have you seen him smiling?
I like
when
Matthew
we've been-
though. I did like
Not
him.
as much, no.
When
Matt,
we've
smile more. You got a great smile, buddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and then we had Mark King and Mariana Fierce.
Yeah.
She shared a little bit of her story from Serbia, so she has the whole European
She's got a
vibe
good look. She's got a
look
good
going
look.
on. She's really pretty.
Yeah.
I really like her.
Yeah.
So we'll see how her fierce cattiness plays out in the rest of the.
We saw a preview
She'll
for next
get
week.
into it with somebody. I think Denzel will get into it with somebody
Yeah.
too. I see him getting into it.
Getting Texan.
So let's
Yeah.
get into the elimination.
Yes.
Kelly and Miss J meet them at Lucky Strikes to reveal to them that they're gonna bowl, and the screen's gonna come up either a happy or a sorry face, and that's how they're gonna know if they're in the if they're up for the
Right.
next episode
Right.
or not. I'm not gonna go through the eliminated contestants. I'm gonna go through the ones that made it. It is Matthew, Keith, Kari, Ben, Shy, Will, Denzel, Chantel, Mariana, Mark, Rylea, Jamie Ray, Adam, Lennox, Romeo, and Danny.
Was that 22 you just read?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 17.
So we're missing a couple.
Probably.
We did. How they cut it. How they cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut it, we
Missing
didn't
5
get-
more.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
they cut it, we didn't get everybody.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And the biggest twist of all is that they have one more week to become finalists. So this is not it.
Right.
They have one more week that they have to prove up to themselves, and people like Denzel didn't think that was fun.
And there's a real photo shoot that's gonna happen.
Right.
Yes.
You have to actually work.
So, okay, we're going to wrap it up real quick, but let's get into predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Okay, I'll go first. Since nobody wants to say anything. My prediction is they're going to have to change this show to America's Next Top Big Brother. Because everybody's going to start making out and hooking up. That's about to happen.
Yes.
Probably starting next episode.
100%.
People
Next
don't make
episode.
out and hook up on Big Brother. Sorry.
Okay, go.
They shag.
No, I really like Romeo. I think he's gonna make it into the finalists.
You like Romeo?
I do. I
like
like
him
his
too.
look. I like his look and I
Okay.
like his character.
So do I. I'm with him on that.
Guys, I like Adam and Will. Girls, I like Kari. I will say, right now, going on the record, if they do one winner, I'm saying a guy takes it.
Ooh.
And if a guy takes it,
Chantel might take it.
I honestly, I would go Keith. Keith is my out of the bat prediction.
I'm going to piggyback off of that and say that if it's going to be down to 2 people, it's going to be Lennox and Keith. I know I'm predicting way ahead, but you could tell the synergy that's been going on between Tyra and the 2 of them. So I definitely agree with you. And I think the first eliminated contestant will be probably Danny or Jamie Ray.
Well, they're gonna cut a bunch next episode.
Yeah.
Well, those are my predictions.
Taking it down. They're taking it down.
I think Chantel might take the whole competition. She's too unique to not.
I think she's
great.
definitely going to be up top on the charts. But guys, thank you so much for watching us. It was a great episode and great to be back. Until next time, I'm your host, Emma Kay, and you can find me on AfterBuzz, and you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at RealEmmaK. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Club Thaddeus and GQJedi.com.
You guys can find me on Instagram, Francisco Thurston, and Twitter, The Francisco.
Thank you, guys.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What is what's going on?
I don't get a shout out.
What's happening?
I'm sorry. Move me aside. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Across the board, Twitter, Instagram, whatever.
Yes.
My name, Mike Scocozza, Scocozza.
Scocozza!
That's right.
In the
Glad
house.
to be back.
Excited to be here.
Yes, we're glad to have you, buddy.
Until next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz
See you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.
Thank you for watching AfterBuzz TV on YouTube. For more of your favorite after shows and interviews, subscribe to our channel here, and be sure to share your opinion on the episode in the comment section below here. We'd love to see what you guys are buzzing about. Thanks again. Buzz you later.